Okay. Hey there. Do you ever wonder how the rich seemingly get richer year after year while you're still struggling? Or do you wonder, what are you going to leave behind for your kids? What kind of legacy will you leave for your heirs? What about you'd like to know more about financial freedom through passive and residual income? If any of these are topics you'd like to know more about, but you don't know where to start, let's get connected. I have a 10-part strategy to grow, protect, and transfer wealth that I call Pitranomics. I'm Juli Pitra. Join me in my Facebook group, and let's grow together. See you soon. Hello, this is Juli Pitra, and I'm here for my Pitranomics Thursday talks. Lovely to be on here. I know we're going to have some technological difficulties. It's my first time streaming this publicly. I've been doing these talks about 1.5 years, but I decided to take the next step to go public. So I'm just really pleased to be here. A little bit about me. I espouse a strategy called Pitranomics. I believe in growing wealth, and we're going to talk about what that means for me and hopefully what that means for you. StreamYard is new for me, so everything is new for me here. Please be patient. Please be understanding. We're going to have some fun. And let's see, can we bring up that presentation and we'll go from there? Hopefully. If not, I'll just talk off the cuff like I normally do. Are we able to bring that up? Excellent. So here we go. Wait, where'd it go? There we go. So I got a nice cool logo now. I like it. Thanks, Clint. It's pretty awesome. If we can go to the next one. So, oh wow, this is fun. A little bit about me. I live in Frisco, Texas. I have a husband. His name is Andre Pitra. I have 2 kids, Jacqueline and Jacob, and I have a dog named Mason. Sounds sort of like the quintessential American dream, but it's our own little flavor. They get the education stuff out of the way. I have a Bachelor of Nuclear Engineering. I've worked in the power industry, and I have an MBA. Not that I really use that specifically, but they've been good training. And I'm the only child of a woman named Jacqueline Tucker. That was my mother. She was great. A lot of the things I know that I feel that has contributed to Pitranomics has come from her teachings. The other part has come from my husband. So I'm really excited to share. Next one, please, Shamir. Thank you. Why Pitranomics? So I don't think enough people have formal education on how to grow and protect and transfer wealth. A lot of the things that we're taught in school don't teach us to be optimally successful in life. And one of the reasons I feel I have been able to do some of the things that I've done, in addition to my wonderful husband and his upbringing, is from my mother and her upbringing. She started out from, let's say, humble beginnings, somewhat constricted beginnings, but she had a will of steel. It's just amazing what she was able to accomplish. And one of the ways she learned about finances was working as a maid for a family that had old Southern money. And here's the thing about education. You don't have to go to a particular school. Sometimes life throws you the opportunities to be able to learn what you need to learn to live a successful life. Take each opportunity as it comes and keep learning. Okay, next one, please, Shamir. And by the way, I have help from my wonderful moderator, Shamir. She's doing so well. Wouldn't have been able to throw this together. I want to thank everyone, and I'll get around to it later, who has helped me get there. So let's start with the definition of wealth. What is it? My belief is having the available resources to provide the greatest levels of freedom and liberty within our social construct. So there are choices that you can make when you have wealth that you can't make when you're subject to oppression because you have no power, when you're subject to oppression because you aren't educated, when you're limited by your finances, by your education, by your knowledge, by your energy. This is, let's get as free as we can. Let's do as much as we can to live optimal lives. So the available resources I focus on are money, energy, and time. There are others, but those aren't what we focus on within Pitranomics. So next one, please, Shamir. This is so much fun. So anyway, this is Pitranomics as an overview. There are 10 strategies. They don't necessarily have to be done one after another, but the first two, the assessment, where am I? And the next one, which I call how to eat an elephant, those pretty much have to be where you start. And then you can hop around. So after those two, there's one, who is in my lifeboat? And the next one is send your dollars out. And the whole thing is they need to come back with friends. The next one is build your fortress. Whatever it is you're growing, protect it. And also pay Uncle Sam what he's due. Don't try to build wealth by foregoing paying your taxes. It's a lot of trouble for you in the long run. The next strategy is to think about, what are you leaving behind? The next one is get professional help. That's not psychiatric. It could be financial. It could be perhaps a psychiatrist, but it's also a CPA or your insurance agent or an attorney. All of those people that can give you the sound advice to help you implement decisions, that's the professional help you need. Snack now, feast later is all about not living beyond your means, making sure that you're using your resources so that you can save or accumulate and accomplish the things you want to do later. And then finally, the Joneses don't have Jack. Don't live comparing yourself to the Joneses. Learn to stay focused on what it is you want to accomplish. So those are the 10 strategies. Let's dig into them a little bit deeper. Okay, next one, please, Shamir. Okay, where am I? You have to understand what your why is and what your resources are, so you can figure out what it is you can actually accomplish. And let's skip this one, go to the next one. I'm pretty excited. So first, what is the driving force that helps you live your life? Define your EOLs, which are your end of life goals. And those are those goals that are so important and so purposeful in your life that if you don't accomplish them before you go on, you won't feel as if your life has had the meaning and purpose that you wanted it to have. Rarely are EOLs just about money, but money helps accomplish the EOLs. Now, one of the reasons I had wanted to do with this presentation the way it is to be able to scribble stuff on it. And for right now, that capability is not available, but maybe next time. Like I said, I do these each Thursday. So define your EOLs. One that my husband and I have is to develop sane, independent, productive members of society. That's one of our goals. And we are in one accord to accomplish that. Now, in the course of a marriage, in the course of a partnership, you don't always agree how it should be done because you're two different people, but you should agree that it should be done. And I would say one of the greatest strengths in my marriage and my partnership with my husband is that we are of one accord about that. Hopefully my children will pop in. They're doing, I think, fairly well. My daughter's about to graduate from university and my son's just finished his second year. They seem pretty well adjusted, at least from right now. Doesn't mean they're perfect. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm just looking for them to be independent so they don't have to come back and live with us. I'm looking for them to be productive so they're not just, living off society. They're also contributing to society. And I want them to be sane, not crazy. I want them to be able to make good relationships and good partnerships and good friendships and be good parents and good contributors to society. So that's our goal. Now, did we finish it? Did we complete it? Well, we're still waiting to see. But right now, it looks like we're on the right path. Next slide, please. Oh, slide went away. Well, anyway, when it comes to determining where you are, you have to do first a determination of what those end of life goals are. I recommend 3 to 5, no more than that. And then the second thing is to have an understanding of what your resources are. So money, energy, and time are what we focus on. Money, for example, no matter how much you have, it's finite. Nobody has infinite money. And no matter how much energy you feel you have to do everything in the world, after you take care of your obligations, you have a finite amount left to pursue your EOLs. And then finally, time. I know it feels like when you're young, say in your 20s, just starting out life, that you have infinite time, but that's not the case. It goes by in a blink. Next year, I'll be 60, but it does seem like just yesterday I was 20 something, thinking I had forever. And it's not forever. And even now, I don't like to think that my end is right around the corner, but I know it's a lot closer than it used to be. And I need to make sure I'm actively doing what I want to accomplish to get there. And so those 3 resources, I say this is what you need to meet your goals. I kind of put a long E on that E. Meet your EOLs with your money, energy, and time. So know what you have, know what you got. Next one, please. And then the second strategy, once you understand where you're going, and once you understand what you have to help you get there, you have to create your roadmap. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, one small bite at a time. Don't try to take on overwhelming intermittent goals to accomplish your long range goal. Anything that's worth dedicating your life to accomplishing is worth figuring out that roadmap, how to get there, identifying your milestones. And don't forget to celebrate your milestones. Make sure if you accomplish something on the way to your major goal, give yourself a little celebration. And if you don't accomplish it the way you like, give yourself some grace. Get back on it and start again. Next one, please. The third strategy is what I call who is in my lifeboat. Are they helping me to paddle, or are they causing me to sink? This is one of, for me, the most powerful ones to try to understand and to implement on a daily basis. A little bit about me. I'm not the most social person in the world. It's taken me a year and a half to feel comfortable enough to come on and do this live. I'm nervous and I'm looking forward to the outcome, but this is not easy for me. But I've been encouraged by people who are important to me, whose opinion I value, that maybe I should start putting what I'm about out there a little more. Those are the people who are helping me to row, helping me to paddle, helping me to navigate the uncertain waters of life. Now, there are other types of people, and they can look like friends, and they can be family, and they can look like they're helping, but they're not. They're either taking the stormy waters and putting them in your lifeboat, causing you to sink, or they're punching holes and decreasing your ability to weather those stormy waters. It's really important to start learning to identify who around you is helping you to get to where you need to be and who around you is sabotaging where you need to be. Very important strategy. Next one, please, Shamir. Thank you. Strategy number 4. This is what I think investment is. You have to have some money, and then you have to put it out there doing something, making it work, and you're hoping that money comes back with friends so that your accumulation grows bigger, and then you can rinse and repeat. You can send that money back out there and have it come back with more friends. And then that happens, and then you can send it back out there again and have it grow some more. But the first thing to understand is that you have to accumulate a little bit first before you can send your dollars out. This is not your job. This is what you're setting up for your residual income, your passive income, or your business that's going to grow. But it's not the everyday thing to sustain you for shelter and clothing and food. It's what's going to help grow for accomplishing your goals and for later in life. Thank you. Should we do the next one? Strategy 5 is to build your fortress. When you start accumulating, when you start growing, it's important to protect it. And you can't protect it from every possible thing, but you should be able to protect it from foreseen assailants. So let's say you're in an industry, you're building a business that's highly litigious. Make sure you have at least contact with some good attorneys and build your business in such a way it's not easily preyed upon by spurious litigious activity. Protect it the best you can. Now, I don't mean stand there and act like your whole life is wrapped into making sure no one ever takes a penny. It's going to happen. As a friend of mine just told me a little bit ago, you're going to get screwed over. You can't get around that. Somebody is going to breach your fortress. But don't just leave it bare. Protect it as best you can. Keep growing it and continue. Next strategy, please. Strategy number 6. Pay Uncle Sam what he's due. I don't advocate nor do I support tax fraud. You don't not pay your taxes that you're owed to pay. But you do make sure you structure your business and listen to the right professionals that can help you strategically mediate your tax burden so that you're not a criminal, but you're not just giving it away either. And one of the people I use in that endeavor is a tax strategist. He's very powerful. His advice has been absolutely amazing. And you use that person strategically. You don't wait till the end of the year and you're like, you file your taxes. No, you use that person for planning on how to conduct business so that your tax burden is optimal. And it's key to remember optimal, because you don't want it to be the absolute lowest it could possibly be if it inhibits you from accomplishing the goals you want later because of that very, very low taxable income that you've declared. Next one, please. Strategy number 7 talks about what are you leaving behind. Now, not everybody wants to leave a financial legacy, but it's not just about your finances. It could be an educational legacy. It could be inspiration. But a lot of times we are thinking about financing or finances. So when you're talking about your finances, you need a really, really good estate planning attorney that you're on board with, that you have a rapport with, and that understands what it is you're trying to accomplish. And that brings us to the next strategy, number 8, which is get professional help. Every single one of these strategies can benefit from sound professional help. So there's legal, there's insurance, there's your mentors, there's all of these different types of people and resources that's possible to help you grow. Don't be afraid to not know something, but do be afraid to not know something and not put forth the effort to find out or to get help. Even the most intelligent person in the world doesn't know everything, but the most intelligent person, I'm sure, has advisors. Seek the counsel of wise people that can help you on your journey. And this strategy talks about how to identify who would work for you. And I do have guest speakers. Again, not every professional is for everybody. It's really important you understand your goals and what you want to accomplish and be able to communicate those to the professional. And it's very important that professional has experience in accomplishing at least something synergistically similar to the goals you're trying to accomplish. That makes it work. Not every professional is good for everybody, but there are a lot of great professionals out there for you. Just learn how to look. Next strategy, please. And this is where we talk about the accumulation. Snack now, feast later. Don't overspend. I have heard statistics about the savings rates of the average American, and they are quite dismal. But you have to be able to budget and show some discipline so that you can live enough below your means, not at, below, so that you can accumulate, so you can accomplish all of these other strategies, including sending your dollars out. So short-term sacrifice, short-term constriction of consumption, which is the snacking, so you can feast later and enjoy the fruits of that down the road. Or maybe you're doing it for your heirs. Whatever it is, don't overspend any of your resources in the present. Accumulate them so you can make use of them later. And then the final strategy, which is one of my favorites, is whatever you've decided your goals are, whatever it is you've decided your path is, whatever choices you make and how you implement these strategies, don't compare yourself to others. You don't know what their end of life goals are. You don't know what their resources are. You don't know what their plan is, what their milestones are. You don't even know if they have any. So never ever compare yourself to someone else as a measure of the success of your own goals. Learn to have some tunnel vision, ignore what the other people are doing, stay focused. Now, it doesn't mean ignore everybody and not seek sound counsel, but it does mean when you're looking to the left and looking to the right, it seems like everybody is enjoying everything right now. Well, that's not your goal, because if you're following the rules of Pitranomics, the strategies in Pitranomics, you're planning for the long haul. So don't live life, and don't even be tempted by life lived in the short term when you're thinking in the long term. So that was that final strategy, and that's the 10 of them. Again, they don't have to go one after another, but please do focus on getting your goals down, understanding what resources you have available, and sort of mapping out your roadmap. And then you can just do whatever strategy you want to work on at the moment. So one of my favorite quotes, if you do what everyone else does, you will get what everyone else gets. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I made some slightly different decisions than a lot of people that I knew around me. And at some point, there were people that made fun of those decisions. They called me cheap. They called me a hermit. They called me boring. Whatever it is, it worked for me. I am fairly happy where I am. I can't say I'm happy about every step it took to get me here. I've had stumbles. I've had embarrassments. I have had what looked like failures, but I'm going to just call those learning opportunities of what not to do. But all of those have led me to where I am right now, which is pretty content with where I am. I am the happiest I've been, but at each point, I've tried to be the happiest I've been. So it's an upward swing. Don't get embroiled in what other people are doing and what other people are having if they're not along your same journey. So I think we have one more slide. Is that right? And it's a quote from my mother. And if not, okay. So I'm going to tell a quote from my mother, which is, eagles don't soar in flocks. And she was a fan of a book called Jonathan Livingston Seagull. And if you don't know it, it's a good book. It's inspirational. But there was a bird that wanted to soar, a seagull. And all the other seagulls were saying, you can't do that. That's not possible. That's not what seagulls are supposed to do. You'll get hurt. And he decided to push his limits further and further and further and achieve greater and greater levels of enlightenment. But he was soaring alone. I'm hoping that with Pitranomics and with the community I'm trying to build, there are times when the eagles don't have to soar alone. They can soar with a partner, or at least meet up with the water cooler and have a good conversation. So that, in a nutshell, is the overview of the Pitranomics strategies. We were set up, or we're hoping to be set up, so I could understand if there are questions. If you'd like to come on stage and offer, I guess, an opinion of what I've said, ask a question about what I've said, I'd love to hear from you. I will be doing this each Thursday and covering at least a strategy or an overview, or bringing some guest speaker that I think will be useful. And I'm looking forward to sharing what I know and hearing about what others know. So that's the overview. Do we have any questions? Does anyone want to step forward? And I can't see it. I just will kind of rely on help. Anyway, thank you to my darling husband for coming. I know you're busy. And by the way, we're heading to our daughter's graduation tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. So she's worked hard and she's done well. Would anybody like to step on stage and speak for the record? Well, if not, I just want to say thank you for listening. I will do this each Thursday. I hope to see you next week. By the way, things were a little flustered getting here because I was coming in from Paris, Texas, and the traffic was awful on I-30. I saw 2 horrific accidents. So you guys be safe out there, and I will see all of you next week. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you for coming. This will be showing up on my Facebook page and showing up on my YouTube channel, which I'm going to start posting on. So thank you again. And that's a wrap. You guys have a great night. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.